Hey, I'm Abhiraj Balyan. So I'm actually 13 years old and I've been into tech for I would say like 3 to 4 years. And I'm actually from I was born in India and raised in India for 10 years of my life. Then me and my parents migrated to Canada. It was a tough time, we couldn't get our visa and stuff. It took us like 3 to 2 years to get visa, to come to Canada. But after that, everything was like totally awesome. So let's talk about my experiences with like AI, tech, and stuff, and some of my projects. So I started learning Python since I would say like 11 years old. So in Python I learned exception handling, oops, lambda functions, def, classes and all that stuff, like everything in Python. And then I started learning machine learning. And in machine learning I learned first I started learning regression models like linear regression, polynomial regression. So first I learned the mathematical formula of them. So I actually know how, how to make linear regression model from scratch and like every formula of linear regression and polynomial regression. Um, then I started learning like classification models like logistic regression, XGBoost, light GBM, and all that stuff. After that, I moved to clustering, unsupervised learning, and all that stuff. And after learning ML model, I made like 10 to 15 projects with Streamlit. Oh yeah, I also learned Streamlit in between so I can like actually make web apps for ML models and stuff. So then I made like 5 to 8 projects about ML, regression, classification, clustering, and all that stuff, like automatic data cleaning. In machine learning, I also learned like hyperparameter tuning and like image classification with SVM, support vector machines. And yep, so after that, I started learning deep learning. In deep learning, I learned first I learned the Keras, and like in Keras, I learned the sequential, the dense layer, and all that stuff. I made my first ANN uh for cla- um for classification models, and yeah, and I also learned like RNNs, CNNs, convolution neural networks, and how to make them using TensorFlow. And I also learned like data augmentation and transfer learning. And after doing that, I switched to Azure. In Azure, the real magic started. So in Azure, I started making like real AI models, like and computer vision. Like the one thing that I found about Azure was that and then after making I wouldn't say few projects. Actually, I made like tons of projects for Azure. So after making like tons of projects for Azure AI and computer vision, I switched to Hugging Face cause my free time ended in Azure and was like really expensive to get it. So then I um learned about Hugging Face and I made quite a few projects. Like I shipped a real product. You can find it in my GitHub repo, and I image like text to image, text to video, and like an AI. And I also made an alternative version to OpenAI's Codex. Like it actually works really good. And all of this I made it on Streamlit, of course. And like after Hugging Face, I started making agentic AI models using PhiData. If you don't know PhiData, it's an open source agentic AI tool like LangChain. Like you know how you use LangChain for agentic AI, but instead of LangChain and Langsmith, I used Phi and then I made a real life Jarvis. So I made a Jarvis with like computer vision. So I made a Jarvis with like Hugging Face mod, only Hugging Face model. So I would say like on my on my laptop, I would say like Jarvis, open WhatsApp. So it will open WhatsApp, and then I will say type I'm going to be late for work. It's just an example. So I will like say to Jarvis, write that I'm going to be late for work to suppose to my dad. So it will like type it in actually in real time and send it. So I can also say like open um on Google, search who is Elon Musk. So then it will search who is Elon Musk and like tell me the results. And it also has real-time data access. So I had a real-time data access with SERP API, Google's API for like real-time data access. And it can, and if I say like open YouTube, it can open YouTube and like I would say open Mr. Beast videos. So if we search Mr. Beast videos and like play one of them, and yeah, and I with Streamlit and like And I also and I also made one project. Like you know how in movies there is a FBI, like you know how in like most of American movies there is like a CIA and FBI criminal database where they like upload a photo of a criminal and it pops up and then it brings all the information in the world related to that person. So I also made that with face and only open source tools like Hugging Face, Streamlit, and all that stuff. So I made like two tabs. One of the tab was like uploading the person's information, and the second tab was finding the person's information. I will put a link in the description. Uh, it's a LinkedIn. I will put a I will put a link in the description for that project. And I've also made live object detection model. So like suppose if I take these lens, if you draw a square around it and like on top if we say like glasses with like the confidence threshold. So like basically it's like so basically it's like how it's like how confident the model is that this is glass. Like this is the lens. And I mean live object detection plus photo object detection. So if we draw a square around me and saying that a person with 100% accuracy, I will also put a link in the description for this project too. And that's it. That's me.